It was very different. We didn't have the resources that we do now. We made it happen, and it was incredible. And it's been amazing to see the growth, because it's come so far from, just a small group of individuals doing the most.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to see the support that we get from the community. It's like anyone you touch, you reel them in, because they see the magic. Like, there's a magic in the way that Three Little Pitties does what they do. Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, welcome to Save Lives with Us, the podcast from Three Little Pitties Rescue. I'm Alayna Goodson, founder of Three Little Pitties. Each episode we share real stories, challenges, victories, and the people helping dogs and cats find forever homes. We're glad you're here. Let's dive in. So here we have Tilly and Cynthia, our Director of Adoptions. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
So I have to start sharing this really neat story that just happened. It literally just popped up on my phone. I just texted Sydney, the assistant in the adoptions department, and I said, can you follow up on little dog we found on Monday, or one of our fosters found running down a very busy road. It's a road I used to live on where there would be dogs, unfortunately, hit and killed weekly, if not daily. It was all the time.
Welcome to Texas.
Yeah. So I said to her, can you please follow up? Because this little dog was miraculously microchipped. So we were waiting to hear back from the microchip company. Mm-hmm. Well, she just texted me and said, you're not going to believe this. The owner's coming to pick up the dog, and he's been missing over a year. Wow. And it's crazy because, and he's here at the rescue. She's going to come pick him up. He had skin issues, and his teeth are all messed up, and he's got heartworms. And she said he's been missing over a year. And they had signs up and everything looking for their little dog. And we have him, and that's the power of a microchip. And of course now, as soon as she gets him home, she's going to get him a collar and a tag on. So who knows where he was for that year, but we're getting to reunite a family with their little baby. And it had his date of birth on the microchip. I think he's like 11 years old.
Oh my gosh.
He's like a little 7-pound scruffy dog, and now he gets to go home. That's pretty cool. I hope I get to be out there whenever the family comes and picks him up. And we were able to keep him safe here, thank God. Like, it's easier for us to do that with smaller dogs, but with big dogs, I mean, we've got 95 big dogs here. It's
harder to make the room.
Yeah, it's hard.
Such a great need.
Yeah. So we were able to help. It's pretty amazing. It's a happy ending, which we don't get all the time in rescue, but we got it on that one.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see their reunion.
I know. So, Director of Adoptions, Cynthia Peña. So, Cynthia, I want you to start by telling us how you got into rescue. That's a unique story.
Well, I grew up in Houston and never batted an eye. I don't think I ever even realized that we had a dog issue. I was in an area where, dogs roamed, and it was just normal.
Yeah.
Then I moved out of state, and coming back is when my eyes were opened. I was driving down the street to drop my dogs off at grooming, and I run across a pitty on the side of the, like a highway, and I said, gosh, that dog does not look like it's in good shape. But there was a man there, so I thought maybe it's his dog. So I said, let me drop my dogs off, and on my way back, if it's still here, then we'll see what we can do about this. So sure enough, there she was, across the highway this time, in a very busy intersection where it was just not safe. I picked her up, put her in my car, bought her McDonald's, because that was the nearest thing. Bought her McDonald's, she ate, and she slept for hours while I desperately contacted rescues, shelters, everyone that I could find. I got no responses. And, I didn't know what to do, because at this point, it was my first time picking up a stray, and I had my own personal dogs, and I just didn't think about it. So luckily I did finally get a response from someone, and she shared with me about our shelters here, which I was unfamiliar with. And she said, go to Bark. It's better than leaving the dog there.
It's a big Houston shelter.
Yes, it's a city shelter with open intake. And she's like, take the dog there. It's better than leaving the dog where it's at, where it can get hit by a car. Mm-hmm. So I arrive at Bark, and this is back when they had true open intake. The line was, I waited hours.
The intake line. People
intake line.
bringing dogs, whether it be an owner surrender or a stray that they found.
Right. And I didn't know what to expect. She said they will help you. So, I took it as that. So I'm there and you see people pushing carts with crates full of puppies and cats and dogs, and a lot of people were there, surrendering their own pets, which is just devastating. I mean, something I'd never been exposed to. And then I get up to the desk, and obviously because they have a lack of space, they ask me, if I understand the consequence of dropping a dog off there. And I didn't know what that was. They're like, how long have you had this dog? It's like a few hours. I'm sobbing. They thought I'd had the dog for, years.
You're making me cry right now with this story.
But luckily they had a really great foster program that I was unaware of. And I was able to give them my information. And they said if something didn't work out, that they would contact me and then I could figure it out then. Yeah. This dog had a microchip. So but it was the beginning of a beautiful, just, eye-opening event. And then that just opened my eyes and my heart to all the things. So they did call me to let me know that the dog had a microchip, which I thought was amazing because they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just started working with their foster program, and it was great. It was very similar to what, not exactly what we do with Three Little Pitties, but I got to foster the dog. They'd provide the vetting and help me to make placement. But it was, it was limited. It wasn't, we do a lot of extra work to go above and beyond and really reach people. There, it's just whoever happens to
it's
come
what they
through.
can do.
Right.
Yeah.
So, still a great program then. I'm sure they still have an amazing program now.
Yeah.
But that just kind of introduced me to the rescue world. And then I picked up every dog I saw.
Oh, dang it.
So I knew I had an outlet. I picked up every dog that I saw. But the hard part was never truly knowing where they went, because I started connecting with other rescues who, by all means, they do fantastic work too.
Yeah.
But it's different. The experience is different. Three Little Pitties, what really grabbed me was that it was, it goes beyond just that initial caring for the dog and handing them off and hoping that everything went well. You don't know where they went. Three Little Pitties gave me the ability to keep in contact. Like, I still talk to people that I adopted dogs out to 8 years ago,
Yeah, me
9 years
too.
ago.
It's amazing.
They'll call to share, happy updates. They'll call and we cry together when their dogs pass away.
Yeah.
And, it's just, it doesn't end there. Like, you continue that, just the contact, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And I love that we can offer that to our fosters, and I love that we can offer that to adopters too.
Yeah.
Like, you gain a family, a friend,
Yeah. And I met you at the very beginning of the rescue. About 8 years
Yes.
ago, you came over to my house where the rescue was really being run out of my garage.
Yeah.
And you unloaded a bunch of crates, and I distributed them to fosters, and that was kind of the first contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I had just learned about you starting the organization, and I had received a large donation of used crates, but I knew they could be of use to someone, and I was super impressed with you because you were pretty much full-term pregnant with Cash. Unloading crates out of my car.
I tell all the girls around here, I worked until the day I gave birth.
Yeah, no, you sure did. I was like, wow.
Actually, on our way to the hospital, we stopped by an adoption event. My husband was
wow.
so mad.
Oh my
And then we stopped by Chick-fil-A. Okay.
You're like, I can hold it for a little longer. That is too funny. No, but you were amazing, and honestly, your energy and just, I could just feel that you were going to do something great. And plus, the person that introduced me to you, she had a lot of wonderful things to say about you, and just your overall drive.
Well, that's nice. I think that, how this rescue is what it is today is people like you who say, okay, I want to be a part of that. I want to bring my skills and talents. And that's what you did. You came in and you dove right in with rescuing dogs, getting them lined up for medical the way that we did it back then.
Yeah.
And then posting them for adoption. And you ran around to the fosters' houses and took the pictures and videos and got them posted online and handled all of your own applications that would come in for those dogs that were kind of saved under you. And then, you would bring them to transport, and we loaded up in a parking lot back then, just like we do now.
Yeah. It was very different. We didn't have the resources that we do now. We made it happen, and it was incredible. And it's been amazing to see the growth, because it's come so far from, just a small group of individuals doing the most.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to see the support that we get from the community. It's like anyone you touch, you reel them in, because they see the magic. Like, there's a magic in the way that Three Little Pitties does what they do.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to this podcast are wondering what the crunching sound is. So we have a sweet little adoptable girl right here with us named Tully Tilly. And she is so petite. She's probably only about, what, 27, 30 pounds?
30 pounds.
And she's some little mixed breed, and she's been pretty calm and good, just laying here on the couch chewing her little bully stick. She needs a foster or an adopter. Yes. And I think that, like, as our staff gets to know dogs, we do a really good job of describing them and putting that information into our system that goes and shoots out that information to a bunch of different websites. And then from those adoption, pet postings, we meet potential adopters and we interview them. Can you talk a little bit about that process? Like, how many people are on your team, and what do you call them? And you're the boss of them because you're the director of adoptions. What kind of operations are you leading to accomplish the matchmaking?
Yeah. So when they say it takes a village, it truly does.
Yeah.
We're one department within the organization.
Yeah.
And within the adoptions umbrella falls the adoption coordinators, which we have a fantastic team. A lot of them consist of previous fosters, previous adopters, volunteers, just someone that, again, was somehow touched by the magic.
Yeah.
And they decided to join, and they're all over. We have people in the Pacific Northwest and the Northeast. We have people in Canada. So it's been amazing. And everyone truly, really cares because they again, they've been through the process. So I think that, that really helps to inspire them to want to do that and help somebody else feel that, that overwhelming joy that you get. Like, I always say adopting from Three Little Pitties to me is more than just adopting. You can go to, and nothing wrong with adopting from a shelter. Any dog adopted or cat adopted is wonderful. Yes. But you, it's an experience. Like, you really get to go through a process. We match you. The adoption team is not just there to adopt. We don't adopt, we match. We want to make sure that there is success in the long term of the adoption. So someone will apply, and obviously, we do our very best to try to bring in the appropriate applications by sharing what we learn about them. So it starts from the beginning. They come in for intake. We have a wonderful intake team, behavior team, and content team that assess to make sure that we are able to qualify them for transport. Some dogs are very stressed and maybe they won't do so great, but now we do local adoption, so we can also help. Yeah. We can also help in those situations. It's just a matter of learning what that dog needs, learning what a person needs. If you live a certain lifestyle, if you have small kids, if you have a dog that's nervous, all the things. We want to know it all, because that's what's going to help us to help them ensure that this is the best possible match.
Yeah. And
it goes beyond that. That you get to, depending on the circumstance, but we will share the good, the bad, all of it. We want to prepare someone. We want them to know and understand what they're going to get, help with guidance. It doesn't end at adoption. We provide support through it all before adoption, after adoption, we're there to help. We have a lot of, even just written documents that somebody can read through, videos.
Educating on decompression and that kind of thing to make it the most successful process possible. And, we just did the math last night in our little director chat. And what's the return rate we settled on? Was it 3.4%?
3.4%. And that's mind-blowing, because
that is fantastic.
It is. And it's been steady for years. So that's the most impressive part. And that goes to show that all the teams combined, behavior team, adoptions coordinators, everyone works together to really try their best to match.
Yeah. So 3.4% out of about 3,000 to 3,600 animals per year adopted out, only 3.4% get returned. And that means that the adoption just, didn't work out. In some cases, it's, the dog was great with cats here, and then there's, 3 or 4 cats in that home, and it's just too much for that dog.
Right.
So that's a pretty low number that we take great pride in, and that's with, like you said, all of the work from all of these departments to make sure it's the right match.
Yes.
And think about it this way, too. We're called Three Little Pitties. We rescue out a lot of power breed dogs, a lot of big, strong dogs.
And I love
so
that.
only 3.4% returned out of all those big dogs. Like, God, everybody here needs to be very, very proud. That's insane.
It is something to be proud of, and I'm grateful and very honored to be a part of it, because that was where, when I initially was introduced to rescue overall, that's where I struggled. It was easy to find placement for the little ones, but the big pitties, which is what you find in the streets.
Yeah.
So Three Little Pitties has definitely, it's a wonderful thing that happens here.
And I love that we're open to all breeds and sizes and shapes.
We have it all.
That's what's on
Personalities.
all of our hearts. It's
Yeah.
like the variety. That's what we
Yes.
love.
We have littles, we have,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to believe that you can find small scruffy dogs in a rescue. You can find all sorts of dogs, and they come to us from unknown backgrounds, but and sometimes it could be, it's great things. And again, we have the behavior team that helps to support them through whatever they need so that we can prepare them for adoption. Yeah.
So, about small dogs and different categories of dogs, I think that something I wanted to address today and just kind of talk openly about is our adoption fees. So our adoption fees currently cover about 60% of our expenses. And we do depend heavily on that money to come in so that we can, pay for everything to run this organization. What do you tell people that say, hey, you guys have higher adoption fees?
Right. Well, the first thing to consider is that we do not have government funding or subsidies, so we are solely relying on the adoption fee to cover the expenses that go into the pups. And we take great pride in the medical coverage. We set a standard, and we want to do the best because we want to set the dogs up and the families up for success, dogs and cats alike.
Yeah.
So that's just something really important to consider. There is no way that we can compete with shelters or,
Right.
rescues that are local to a certain area that they're adopting from, because
Right.
they don't have those expenses. And on top of that, it includes the transport all the way across the country, which
Yeah.
some people are mind blown that it's built into the fee because transport alone through private transport, depending on who
it
you
can be
hire, can be very
$600,
expensive,
$1,000.
So it includes transport, which we run ourselves,
Yeah.
and I've been on transport, which was great. It's like everybody is very comfortable and happy, and we have great attendance. So it covers all of that, and on top of that, again, the medical, the ongoing support, we go above and beyond on medical. Here in Texas, we have heartworm disease, and we know that, dogs require heartworm prevention for a certain time after they leave here, just to kind of get through that incubation period. And we've gone above and beyond to provide a whole year's worth of prevention through the ProHeart. So there's, but even then there are times where sure, there's a small little amount that's left over. There's times where it's fully absorbed and times 10,
Backwards $10,000 on some dogs.
So it's really just about believing in the mission and knowing that if there happens to be anything that's left, it goes back into the pot that helps to help many more. So you are making a difference within that adoption. So I think it's a beautiful thing. You're paying it forward, and you're helping save others.
Yeah. Some of the by the way, we do this down to the penny. Suzanne Schaefer sits there and looks at receipts and looks at, everything. And she's like, down to the penny for like how much it costs for the Cordelio flea prevention and the ProHeart injection and the collar and the tag. and oh my gosh, like everything. And then you have dogs here in boarding sometimes for a year while they're waiting for their family, and those dogs are backwards $6, $7, $8,000. So things do get expensive, but this is why we're here, and this is why the Pit Crew monthly donors exist, and why we encourage people to get their donations matched by their employer, or at least ask their employer about it and see if that's possible. And just be as generous as you possibly can so that we can continue this good mission. We just redid the math, like I said, down to the penny, with God bless Suzanne Schaefer for all that she's doing on that. But she just redid the math, and you wouldn't believe the cost of transport alone. She came up with, it's about $10,400 each time we run one bus to the Pacific Northwest. That's a lot of money, and we go every other Thursday. Right. We're leaving tonight. So, everything adds up, and it's good work.
Yeah.
Every single adoption fee goes towards really good work.
It really does. I feel very, very strongly about the work that the rescue does.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. So, so everybody, please join Pit Crew, donate, spread the word, help us get more.
We were talking yesterday about kind of what fills your cup and what kind of keeps your flame going, because this can be very exhausting work. Mm-hmm. You go every once in a while on vacation, and you cannot put your phone away, because if you do, it's a little fly. If you put your phone away, you're going to be catching up for that number of days when you get back, because there's that much communication in rescue. I mean, down to a cat mistransport. Then you had to speak with the adopter, and then the adopter was upset because they drove to, for the transport where the cat, didn't come. And then you had to worry about how that cat was going to get there, if the cat could get there sooner, or when is the cat going to travel? Okay, now, are we going to add that location to the route? I mean, that was probably, a couple hours of communication for you?
Oh,
so...
a lot.
Yeah,
we exhausted a lot of options before we even reached that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the amount of work behind rescue, it's all organizing and communicating and making pathways for things to happen that probably a lot of people would give up on. But I always describe us as ants. Like, if there's something in front of us, we're going to walk right around it. But point being, you really have a hard time putting your phone away. It's pretty intense work, and you have to keep your cup filled. So you were kind of saying, as you've progressed through your journey in rescue, at first it was the excitement of picking up a dog off the side of the road that probably not anybody else was going to stop and pick up, and you've figured out a plan. And since you've kind of graduated out of that season of your life, and you were telling me about how you keep your cup filled now, what fills it for you right now?
I mean, all of it, just keeping it running, keeping things going. It's very important to me that the rescue succeeds, that other people succeed. So whatever it is that they need, I almost feel like I've done my time. I still do more, but I've done my time. And when you love what you do, it doesn't really feel like work. I don't mind answering my phone and whatever it is that I need. And I always joke that before rescue, my phone was dry. Like, no one called me, messaged me. Now it's overheating. But I really do. I like to be there for my team, my teammates, anyone that needs it, and even going beyond adoptions. Just because, we started from the start and we know it all, so we can help each other and whatever it is to help an adoption happen. And that's just the joy, and I really enjoy just reaching that. I guess just making that adoption happen, like whatever it takes, in the best way, whatever we can do.
Getting creative, figuring it out, working with the people to make sure that it works with their budget, or it's the right fit, or what can we do to set you up for success? Okay, we need a tracker. We need, whatever it is.
Yeah. There's so many, so many variables and so many things, and I'm here for it. We're all here for it, and that's what I love about the rescue, is that everyone really just jumps in and does what it takes.
Well, what are the goals for the adoptions department for this year? We're halfway through.
Yes. So, as you guys know, we've had some challenges with our biggest marketing platform, which is Pet Finder. So we've had to get creative and really think outside the box. How do we continue the reach?
To reach potential families, yes. Okay. Expanding to new regions. Like, okay, now this area may be, I don't like to use the term oversaturated, because I don't believe that we send
dogs into areas that have a problem, and we don't become part of the problem. We are there to always support whatever it is. We don't just give up on the dogs and it becomes, a different state's
Right.
problem. But, just knowing, okay, there may be other organizations that now also can get their dogs adopted there. And again, any dog or cat adopted is a win.
Yeah.
So big win for everyone. But now we may have to consider going somewhere else where there might be a need. And not just because we want to adopt animals, but also because there's people that want to adopt and
Yes.
they don't have options.
We got to
There's-
bring them. We're bringing
Yeah.
them, y'all.
So we, just doing all the things, but the goal is to keep saving animals, keep making happy matches. I mean, I always say that there's, it's a great thing to adopt, but also it's just that joy that we see that happens with the adopters on that end. I'd love to be in the Pacific Northwest and be on the receiving end.
I know, me
It's
too,
so
girl.
beautiful.
Me too.
I watch the videos, like we cry when they leave here and then we cry when they arrive. Like,
know.
it's so beautiful. But just making those, make those happy moments, and it's so memorable. Like and hoping that because their experience was so great that they'll share and
Yep.
help us to make more connections. And that's what it's just about. We're just going to do what we do, and it goes beyond adoptions, though. We also have our community outreach team that does spaying and neutering. So, but until we can somehow, the Houston area gets to a better point, we do have to also just adopt.
Yeah,
the existing.
hustle.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you for what you do to lead the adoptions program. I have so much faith in you. You are brilliant. You're very good at business. And the adoptions department would not be what it is without you. You've really built up such a strong operation with really good people who have the same vision that you do. And your vision is why we're able to achieve adopting out this many, especially strong dogs. It's amazing. So thank you for the time and effort that you put in.
Thank you.
And for the entire adoptions department that works behind the scenes, answering the emails and the phone calls and, making the matches, spending the time talking to these families, making sure that we're doing the right thing with this match and with the information we have on that pet. So anyway, I'm very proud of y'all. I'll do a really good job.
Thank you for believing me, and I do have a great team behind me. I mean, it's far beyond what anybody would imagine. Someone
Yeah.
that assists us in the day-to-day, someone that helps oversee applications,
Yep.
the content team who works tirelessly every day, rain or shine.
Yeah, the
I mean,
people
there's
running reports and
there's
checking things that,
people duplicating. They're true volunteers. They spend hours on hours to get thousands
duplicating
of
adoption profiles.
on our Pet Finder page, and our adoption coordinators. The first, like I said, we don't adopt to adopt. So you may have to make 10 phone calls before you get that right match.
Yeah.
And I appreciate them so much because they do it from the heart. Like I
Yeah.
always tell them, this is something that you really need to believe in.
Because it's behind the scenes work.
Yes. But I love everyone. Everyone is amazing. And, I couldn't say anything
Really
more.
good job.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thank you again for coming and spending time to talk about your department. Thanks for listening to Save Lives with Us. If today's episode touched you, we'd love for you to follow the podcast, connect with us on social media, and learn more about how you can support Three Little Pitties Rescue through adoption, fostering, volunteering, or donating. We'll see you next time with more real stories and real hope. Until then, give your pets a big hug from us and keep saving lives with us. Thanks, y'all.